There's peaceful protests, but we're allowed to do that in this country.
Peaceful?
Peaceful, yes, sir.
In
there were
Portland?
protests in June
Okay.
that were not particularly peaceful. There was some violence then, but by September there were 10 or 15 people marching
I think,
around with signs.
I'm
sure you believe in First Amendment right to protest, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't believe in I don't believe in people attacking ICE facilities. I don't believe in people attacking ICE agents.
That wasn't going on.
And when you talk about what's happening now, you got a TV? I mean, turn it on.
Exactly right. What the fuck you talking about?
There is violence in Portland.
Can I tell you what's happening
now? And they're attacking federal facilities. They're attacking federal facilities. And the Portland police do nothing. They do nothing.
Because the National Guard is being called out, it is ramping up the situation. It's creating the exact
Is that license
chaos.
to commit violence?
It's creating the chaos and danger that this administration wants to create. So
First off, the reason that they're there is because of the chaos and destruction that is happening. That's why the need for them is to be placed in these facilities in these cities to protect these federal buildings. So you're fucking gaslighting and you're full of shit. Do you have a TV? Like Scott said. I mean, do you have a TV? Do you not see what's going on? I hate it's just total like everything. Don't believe your lying eyes, right? Everything you see is not really happening. That's just your feed. That's your algorithm giving you these false fucking videos. Scott should just tell her straight out. The reason they're there because of the chaos that they've been doing. Antifa's not a fucking idea. It's a goddamn organization, a very well fucking funded organization. And the reason that we need to call the National Guard is because these Antifa motherfuckers are terrorists. And they've been terrorizing people for the last like 10 years since 2015 when Trump started running for presidency. So let's stop with the lies.
then it has an excuse to suppress it.
It's a
provocation.
In Portland.
There was no violence at all. There was no destruction at all. They walked around with their signs, 10 to 15 people walking in front of the ICE facility.
If there's no violence and there's no mayhem and there's nothing going on, why would people be so enraged at the idea of a handful of National Guardsmen standing around?
Because we don't want the military. We don't believe in the military controlling our cities. And
they're not going to control it.
I would have asked a better question. Why would we need them to be in these areas if there was none of that? If none of that was going on, why would we need them to be in these areas? It's bullshit. That's what it is.
They're just standing guard.
Let me
Standing guard.
Unreliable.
This judge is so out of line. Blaming the president of the United States for enforcing federal immigration law and saying that's the problem.
Yeah, that's not how
he's
law
the
enforcement
president.
works.
He enforces the laws, and she's saying it's a problem that he's choosing to enforce laws that have been on the books for
law enforcement. Unfortunately, doesn't work that way.
Yes, there's peaceful protests.
Okay, all of that shit. I don't know how Scott Jennings even has the time to do any of that stuff because it's just so enraging. The lies, the gaslighting, I mean, the propaganda that they spew out every day, day in, day out. This lady's fucking lying, and she knows she's lying. I guarantee, I would say, well, why don't you fucking stay in the area where all the chaos is happening and show me that there's a bunch of peaceful 10 to 50 people holding signs. We all know that's a lie. These protests are not organic. They're well funded, like I said, by a bunch of NGOs. I mean, well, you have George Soros and you have his son Alex Soros funding these well refined NGO machines that run and magically put bricks and other devices to hurt law enforcement and federal agents. Just put them there. It just showed up out of nowhere. Like the fucking riot gods just fucking brought them presents all damn day. We know what's going on. And you pretend that we're the ones that are going crazy. That's what it is. It's normalizing the abnormal shit that we know is not the correct way of handling situations. Shit that we know it's not good to put men and women's sports. We know that, but they make it sound like it's a normal thing, and then they make you sound like you're crazy for saying that. And then we know it's not normal to terrorize ICE agents and the facilities that they run, but they make it sound like, oh, that's just normal. Yeah, everybody throws fireworks and everybody like yells at them and spits on them and pays agitators to go and make a bad situation worse. Like we see it all the time. That's the thing that makes me so mad. It's like we see it all the time. I don't know. Like, do you not have social media? Do you not have a TV? Do you not have any kind of way of looking at what it really is on the ground? We see reporters like Andrew No. We see other motherfuckers too. Nick Sorter. We see them getting harassed all the time, getting their property taken away, getting hit, getting spit on, getting hurt, and nothing happens. And they end up arresting the person that's not the agitator. It's all the same shit. And we've seen videos of Portland police telling Antifa how to do certain things without getting arrested. I mean, it's just a shit show is what it is. So Trump has to bring the National Guard because y'all cannot lead or rule in a way that'll fucking make citizens safe in any, or make federal agents safe, or make law enforcement safe. You can't do it because you can't condemn these people because they're the strong arm of your party. Let's be real. The Antifa is the strong arm of the left part. I mean, of the Democratic Party. They do all their dirty work, so they could say, "Hey, that ain't our group." And then, oh, how can he not be anti-fascist? These motherfuckers are the fascists. Look at them. Anything that they don't agree with, they're gonna go after you completely, and they're gonna try to destroy you. Not like your reputation. They're gonna try to destroy you, like physically too. They're gonna try to end your life. We've seen it. We've seen it in a long time ago, and I believe it was 2018 or something like that. After the George Floyd shit had happened, we saw where it's like, hey, a Trump supporter, blah blah, shot him. We see it with the BLM with the black guy that was a cop in Dallas, Texas. He tried to stop these dudes from robbing a TV, shot, dead, retired. Did all his years as a police officer, lived through that, but didn't live through the George Floyd riots. And it's constant gaslighting from the left that just makes you almost feel like you're living in the Twilight Zone. I've said that many times. Am I living in this alternate universe where nothing makes sense? And that is like what they want. They want you to feel like all this stuff is normal. Like this is normal behavior for a fascist president, right? They make you want to, like, if you oppose them, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, you're fucking Gestapo, anything. I mean, they're just enforcing federal law that we have on the books. You can't just have a bunch of idiots in here. We don't know. They didn't sign the guest book. We don't know who they are, where they come from, what criminal records they bring with them, what kind of actual cultural differences that they bring with them that are not going to be compatible to ours. But somehow we're the fucking assholes. We're the racists. You're the racist. You're the racist for asking these questions. Who are these people coming in? I know if somebody brings somebody to my house, I'm gonna ask, who is he? What does he do? Is he cool? Okay, good. Okay, and then you're gonna vouch for him. Don't bring no fucking assholes to my house. Don't bring no dicks. We got enough dicks. Don't bring no more. One of the really, really good things that I saw the other day, and it really put everything into perspective, because as of now, I feel like a lot of stuff is just not making sense, and it's purposely done that way. It makes you want the system and what's going on make you want to feel that way, because we see it over and over, and we constantly see where they just gaslight to the point of where you start to question, like, am I the one that's in the wrong? How many of y'all have felt that way? I really want to know how many of y'all have felt like, dude, am I the one? Like, am I the one that's like off a little bit? Because I don't know, none of this shit seems normal to me. None of this at all seems normal. And I saw this the other day, and I've been saying this for a while. It is Marxist, communist bullshit that they did. The DEI was to separate us. The putting men and women's sports was to confuse us, and everything else like that we see constantly. The killing of Charlie Kirk and the shootings of like political assassinations and political hit jobs are to scare us into shutting up. Shut up! Don't talk! Don't shut up! Don't talk! You fascist! Sit down. Know your place. That's all it is. It's all the same shit. Know your place. We don't have time to even argue with you, because we're not going to combat your ideology or all the ideas that you're trying to show to everybody. We're not going to combat that. What we're going to do is we're going to hurt you, because words is violence. Silence is violence. Violence is okay in their world. It's better than saying bad words. It's better than making people feel not so good about themselves. The fat shaming. I mean, look at like all that shit, everything. Hey, you look good with that big old fucking tire you got around your waist. What? Like what? And I'm not a skinny or in shape guy the way I want to be, but still, I know when I'm eating certain things at 42 years old. I know I'm doing something wrong, and I know I shouldn't be. And I'm aware, like, okay, I need to live a better life. I want to be here for my kids and my grandkids, enough to know who their dad is and their grandpa is. So I need to change some things. I need to exercise a little bit. I need to do some better life choices. No, you're good the way you are. Stay a fat fuck. Have a good time. So I did want to show this. This will encapsulate everything I was just talking about. And I've been thinking this way for a long time. So and then once I saw it, I was like, nice. But it says Cuban intelligence agent tells what it takes to destabilize America.
Trying to interview a Cuban intelligence asset agent. He had retired, defected, and he went all the way back to Castro. It was Castro and the Soviets early in his career. By the end of his time, he was with the Venezuelans, Iranians, and the Chinese. Cuba always looking to destabilize us. And he said, listen, I'm going to just be honest with you. We're targeting your education system, and I'm going to give you our 5 principles of warfare. It's easier to change a young mind than an older mind. It's easier to create instability when you create division in America. It's easier to create confusion when you normalize the abnormal. And if you portray law and order as fascism, you can tear down a democratic Western society. Now, take those principles I just gave you and think.
All that is 100% true, especially with the education. If you have not paid attention to your kids' education and what they're getting taught, I highly advise you to get involved and call teachers out especially when they're trying to, use their propaganda to radicalize your kid or to talk about their gender ideology and all the other bullshit that they try to do. And I when I was a teacher, this was a while back. I heard conversations that made me sick.
Think about what teachers' unions and school districts brought into your schools in the last decade. Normalize the abnormal. Let's have a man go into a women's bathroom pretending he's a female athlete and let him win all the awards on the podium. DEI and CRT were designed to create division, to divide America between 2 classes of people, the oppressed and the oppressors. The oppressors are white people. Everyone else falls into the oppressed class. If you divide a country along those lines and you train children that that's the story, now you can start to create the protest movement that starts to bring down the country. The other thing he said is that in Marxism, crisis is the key. You have to keep creating another crisis to create the sense that your country is falling apart. Now think about the inscription on some of the bullets that were recently recovered in some of these assassination attempts. Catch this, fascist. Fascism is anyone who believes in law and order, who believes in the Judeo-Christian society. Those concepts have been brought into your school districts. They've been brought into your kids' classrooms. They've been brought into your child's Discord chats when they're playing video games. This guy mentioned how much he spent in the final days of his career on Discord trying to poison the young minds of children here. There isn't an accident to what's going on in our schools. Yeah, there's teachers unions and there are nonprofits that are there, but our foreign enemies have a plan and they see the education system as the first step in destabilizing America.
That is 100% true, like I said. Just like they did in the 60s, using Martin Luther King and all that to promote their Marxist bullshit. If you think I'm lying, go look it up. These are not organic. These are well-funded machines that are poisoning the minds of the youth to get them to hate America, to hate law enforcement, to hate everything that stands for Christian values, just to tear it all down. And I remember I had a lesson one year, and this was maybe like 7-8 years ago when I was teaching. It was a lesson where they made me put a T-chart on the whiteboard, and it was oppressed and oppressors. And of course, every ethnicity, everybody was on the oppressed. Everybody. Hispanics, blacks, Indians, natives, Middle Eastern, Muslims, everybody, gay, trans. And the kids are supposed to be telling me this, right? Like I'm facilitating it to get them to say these words. And that was the lesson. That's what the guy was telling me. This is what you need to teach and how you teach it. And the oppressors were just white people. That's it. Nobody. They're not nothing, historically inaccurate as fuck, but it was just white people. And I told the guy, I was like, I'm not teaching this. I'm sorry, I'm not teaching this. And he goes, well, you need to teach it. This is part of the curriculum. And I said, I don't care. I'm not teaching this. And I said, I have like 2 white kids per class because it was mostly Hispanics, where the part of town I was in was heavily Hispanic. I taught at African Americans, kind of heavily African American population and Hispanic population, but it is Texas, so we have a lot of Hispanic people here. And I was like, I have about 2 white kids in each class. How would that feel to go in a classroom and just call them out and saying, you are the oppressors. You are the ones that have oppressed people throughout time, even though that's historically inaccurate. And it's you only. It's only you. It's your people. And the kids have to look at them and be like, oh man, white people, oh like fucking like Billy over there, you know. I don't remember the kids' names. There was like a few white kids, and like I said, had like 1 or 2 per class. And I thought that was like the most just like hostile, but just a terrible way to teach kids. You are oppressed because of this person, these people right here, these white people, and that person sitting behind you. That's why you're oppressed. That's why you can't do what you want to do. That's them. You know, whiteness needs to be fucking eradicated the way they would talk. Like, oh, we need to get rid of whiteness. And it's not about white people, it's whiteness. No, it's white people. Stop lying. Let's stop with the nonsense. Let's stop fucking tiptoeing around the what the elephant in the room here. You want to get rid of white people. You don't like white people. And that does happen. So you need to be really involved in what your kids are learning at school. You need to know, is the teacher saying things that are against your values, and how can you combat that? Can you switch from classes? Can you make sure the teacher's not doing these things? And that goes for the other way around too. You can't just be overly conservative, giving them only one viewpoint. You need to give them both viewpoints. This is the conservative side. This is the liberal side. Which one do you think is right, and explain why? Not that fucking hard, you know? Come to your own conclusion. And you'll be surprised when I used to do that, how often they would be very conservative. I was like, wow, you motherfuckers are conservative as fuck. I wouldn't tell them that, but I would say, okay, well, you should look more into that, and you know, reevaluate your stance on it, and kind of come to a better understanding of it, and be able to debate it as really well with other people, and explain like, this is why I believe this, and not be ashamed of it, not be ashamed of your viewpoint. And yeah, that's all I gotta say is watch what's going on in the education of your kids. And it's time to fight back and call it what it is. It's Marxist communist bullshit that's here to poison the minds of, you know, social media is not, I mean, it's exacerbating that tenfold, you know, because now they're getting it all the time, just thrown at their face. I mean, propaganda machine is just fucking running and spinning as fast as possible now. It's a well-oiled machine. Comment below. I want to know, have you seen anything in your kids' schools that you've definitely made your antennas go up, and you're on like a little more high alert now? Have you heard about any stories like this? What is something that you are doing to make sure that your kids getting a high quality education without getting indoctrinated with leftist talking points and leftist bullshit that goes on all the time in the schools now? How do you feel about it? Let me know. You have a good one. Peace.